Recording in progress.
What's going on, everybody? So in this video, talk about uh 10, just gonna give 10 tips on dealing with high pressure situations. Um, doesn't necessarily matter what high pressure situation you're in, or it may. These uh these tips aren't in any particular order of importance. They're just 10 things that have helped me handle high pressure situations. Um, so the first tip is to be prepared. The more prepared you are, the easier it is when you get those deadlines, you get those tasks that need to be completed within the deadlines. When you make your plan, you can go into the situation a lot more prepared so that when that clock starts ticking, you're able to hit all your goals before the deadline. Um, so being prepared also includes being punctual when you're on time, when you give yourself the correct amount of time to complete everything. Being punctual has something to do with that. You're able to use all the time available to get things complete. Prior knowledge is also something else that will help you be prepared to take care of the task. Prior knowledge, it helps you, the experience that you gather from being in the situations, being in some of the situations over and over again has helped you be prepared so that when the pressure comes on, it's pretty much just another day, just maybe a shorter deadline or having to move things around. So that prior knowledge um, also comes from practice. The more practice that you get doing something, the easier it is to deal with those high pressure situations. You can tell how much practice you've got when the situation presents itself, um, by the way you handle it. So number two, um, take advantage of the time given. Um, when you're given a certain deadline to get something done, you want to take advantage of all of the time that you have in between the start of that task and the deadline. Having all using all that time available will give you all the time you need to get it done. Uh, that means you may have to sacrifice other things during that time to get it done. So the next thing is adjust. A lot of time, most of the time, almost you'll have to adjust. Something will have to get adjusted in one place or another to get things done. You may have to move people around. May have to move priorities around. Like whatever it is that you have to adjust, you kind of gotta call those audibles in the middle of um what's going on to get things done. The next thing is to rely on your team. I mean, like you have a team for a reason. You're not moving by yourself. So like don't try to do everything by yourself. Like that's what you have a team for. Rely on your team to get things done. Like the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. It certainly does. Um nothing great is accomplished by yourself. There's somebody or something or some sort of teamwork going on to get things done in some shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, rely on your team. You know what I'm saying? Trust your team. Uh especially if you guys all have the same mindset. You all share the same values and goals to get things done. Next, get your hands dirty. Sometimes you want to, I will say, it's definitely a practice of being hands off. Like that is the true. Um, I think if you can remain as hands off as possible, it's a lot easier. Or how can I say? Uh, it displays your ability to manage people. Like when you can. be as hands off as possible and still get things done. Like it's almost like having to get your hands on, meaning that maybe you don't have enough resources, or maybe you just don't have the ability to move people around the way that you need to. But then there are just those times where it's just like you spread thin. I mean, you only got enough people to get certain things done, and that you getting your hands on something will get other things done better. And there's sometimes it's unavoidable. Sometimes you just have to get your hands dirty. So getting your hands dirty, especially when you under the gun, you got to get things done. It works. Another thing is using all available uh resources. You may have to pull other people in uh from other places to accomplish a goal. So sometimes that needs to be done. Sometimes you need to pull on your resources, all resources that you have available to get a job done. So if that's something you have to do, don't be afraid to ask for help to get things done. The next thing is self-care. Um One thing I will say is rest. Uh when it comes to self-care, you got to take care of yourself, or you can't take care of nobody else. And one of the number one things that came to my mind was rest. Like I understand we're in a very busy world, and there's sometimes this dynamic to where it's like if you're not, you know, if you're not missing sleep, you're not getting things done. And in some cases that's true, but it's really the way I like to describe it, it's just like trying to uh trying to have your phone. You got your phone on 5%, but you're trying to um listen to YouTube and scroll the internet and update your phone, and you're trying to do all of this stuff on a phone that has 5%. Like it's not happening. That phone's gonna die at some point, and then you can't do nothing. So, kind of the same with the body. Uh you wanna recharge. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself a 100% battery so that when you're moving throughout your day, you have that energy available to you. So rest is really important. Healthy eating. And this, to each his own. But in my opinion, eating healthy is what will give you more energy to do the things that you need to do. When you're getting the proper nutrition. I can see my energy levels changing depending on what I eat. I don't eat healthy all the time. Keep it real. I don't eat as healthy as I could be or I should be, but I notice the more healthier that I do eat, the more energy I have to get things done. Another thing I want to mention is breathing exercises. Um, I s- I specifically remember this one time. This was kind of this was a while ago, but when I did this first made it stand out to me how important breathing was. Um, it was an old job I was working at, but I remember I was doing a breathing practice like pretty regularly, and I noticed that I was able to manage my emotions better throughout the day, to the point to where there was a time that came out through the day where I was supposed to get upset. And by supposed to get, I was saying it was like normally something that would have got me upset, and it didn't. Like I was so calm and so still that whatever it was, it just passed right over, to the point where it shocked me. I was like, wow. And I was trying to think back to what it was I was doing. And then I recall a breathing exercise that I had did that morning. And I was like, oh, okay. I tied it into that. And that's when I realized that breathing is a great way to prepare yourself mentally and physically, so that when those high pressure situations come throughout the day, you're able to handle them a lot easier, a lot better. The next thing is attention to detail. So a lot of times the high pressure situations, the attention to detail will often pull you through. Um, it'll be those little details that you notice that will can almost sometimes determine the difference between a successful and a non-successful night or day or whatever it is that you're going through. Um, There are times where I notice little details that made my job a lot easier. You know what I mean? And then there are times where I noticed little details to where I was like, oh shoot, I gotta hurry up and we gotta get on this ASAP, or it's gonna cause us bigger problems down the line. Um, so yeah, attention to detail. Number nine, having systems in place. Um, Having systems in place just make it so that when that pressure comes around, you have some sort of system to handle it. That system, it could be it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like systems are different for different people. But as long as you got some sort of system in place, it'll make it so much easier that when that those high pressure situations come around, it's easy to handle. The next thing is communication and follow up. Communication and follow up are, I would probably even say, follow up is like one of the most important things. Communication, definitely. Communication is key. Clear communication will help you communicate your goals. Be on point with the team. Everybody understands what's going on, and in what I always kind of rule I always go by is more communication is better than less. So sometimes I might over communicate, but I would rather have that in more details than to have less, and then there are things missing. And then the follow up is really important because sometimes you can communicate stuff to your team, people forget, things don't happen. And because you didn't follow up, you had no idea that a task wasn't done. You had no idea that somebody forgot. You had no idea that something happened to where um the communication that was given to get something done, like it wasn't followed through. And that's why that follow up is so important. So this was just something I had on my spirit to share uh, about just situations that I'm dealing with in different areas of my life, mainly concerned with work and not just like my job, but other things that I'm working on too, um, or jobs. So yeah, I think these are tips that could help someone, and that's it. That's all I got. Y'all have a good one.